One of those theories that came to my mind was that he's not dead and that it's part of a bigger plan. And the bigger plan could be that Jeffrey Epstein is actually working with the good guys, whatever they are, whatever intelligence agency, whatever it is.
To lock up everyone else.
To lock up all the yuck people in the world that have been engaging in this activity.
Already cancelled.
Hey guys, Already Cancelled podcast back again. Kian, Yaz, Avneesha, how we all doing?
Yeah.
Feeling good.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
Feeling
what?
good.
What's up
feeling
with that
Mexican?
accent?
What accent?
He just did an accent, didn't he?
It's slightly like half Bogan, half Arab.
No, it's a bit of croak.
Oh,
you know?
okay, right.
Is it because it's like, do you usually get croaky voice in the morning? Everyone gets croaky voice in the morning.
I don't know.
I feel like everyone does.
No, I don't because I barely sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We need to address
What's
that.
the
a lot.
average sleep time?
Oh, it's horrible. Including naps or not including naps? Not including naps, like an average night,
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours.
And including naps? 6.
I'll sleep for about 2 hours when I get home. Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's a really
That's
bad.
ugly.
It's a bad way to live.
Yeah, it's a very bad way to live.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, speaking on bad ways to live, Jeffrey Epstein,
What a segue.
hot off the press, everybody.
Jeez, that wasn't.
That was a... Yeah, I know.
What a crazy way to live, huh?
Yeah, there's
Do,
a lot going on.
Obviously, like, we have to address it because, I mean, a lot of people are talking about it and putting their commentary in, but
Yeah.
something's released,
Yeah.
which is just nuts.
They've been releasing a whole bunch of shit, haven't they?
Yeah, and it's
Like,
just getting... It's
Every
just
day
getting-
there's something new.
It's getting topped and topped and topped.
Well, there's a trial, right? That's happening, and there's
I think it's finished. Was
Yeah,
it
is it
finished?
finished?
I don't know.
Because
I
why
haven't
would you
been following
release
it.
court documents unless the trial's finished?
well, they can do it during the court.
Okay.
as well.
I think the courts are trying to open up cases for individuals.
Yeah, because what
Does
happens?
that make
It's the
sense?
freedom of information.
Well, no, what it is that they decide, okay, this can be public information, and so
But it's
the
only
public-
upon request. So if you do an FOI, you guys heard of FOI
Yeah,
before?
but I don't
Freedom
think-
of information, you put a request in to get that
Yeah.
information and I think they've accepted that, and that's why it's now starting to roll out.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the details behind
Yeah.
it. But what I do know is that obviously we all know the context behind Epstein and like just the terrible things. But also now on social media, there's been a craze because obviously people are getting access to documentation.
Yeah.
There's this.
It was like
they'll-
900 pages.
Yeah.
3,000.
Oh, it's 3,000 now.
And-
3,000 pages of Epstein records have been released.
Yes, and the names that have been associated with Epstein in some way. Now that doesn't mean that they have done
Yeah, it doesn't
terrible
mean that-
things.
Yeah, it just means that they're
They have
mentioned.
any kind of association.
Yeah.
There's an association.
Because you got to
that's
remember
correct.
the guy was a what's it called, a financier or whatever
Yeah.
whatever he was. So a lot of
Yeah.
people with money worked with him.
Yeah.
So not everyone was,
Well, they were and I remember watching one of the docos. I can't remember which one it was, but they were insinuating that he would get people into either to his island or to his house at Palm Beach and all that stuff, or in New York. He would have cameras rolling constantly,
yeah.
and everything would be filmed. And then they were insinuating that in this doco that he was using that footage to blackmail people.
Yeah.
So like higher up people.
Is
And
that really what's happening?
That's well, I don't know if that's what was happening, but that's what this doco was insinuating. Is that what that was his plan?
What's the
Yeah.
doco called?
I can't remember the name of it. It was
Okay,
on
fair
Netflix.
enough.
It was on Netflix. It
Right.
was like a 4-part documentary, and it talked about the story. This was like 3 years ago when it first.
when he first came out. Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, around the time it was like popping back then. But the new releases, you have some names of like Michael Jackson
Yeah.
came out in the
Yeah.
new court releases.
Yeah.
He was at the Palm Beach house, but no massage was ever done or whatever. You had Stephen Hawking at an orgy party.
Okay, but that was that just a hold on? Was that in the documents, or was that
Yeah.
just like a
was in the
rumor
documents.
that's been running around?
No, I think that was in the documents.
So what happened with the Stephen Hawking's thing is they had like a what's it called, like an interview or a what is it when someone gets questioned? in
An
the court?
interrogation
like an interrogation
sort of thing.
with someone
someone's account.
associated with Epstein, and they said, yeah, Stephen Hawking came. They said, what did Stephen Hawking like do? What did he enjoy? Blah blah blah. And they just gave a breakdown. And I think they said he liked dwarfs and he liked
What I read was that he liked. I'm sorry, I'm
dwarf
laughing.
orgies. That's what I
Dwarf
read.
but also there was something there that I either read or saw was that he liked dwarfs, this is just horrible, trying to solve math problems on a blackboard that was too high for them to reach.
Okay, no.
That's what I heard. It sounds ridiculous.
That has to be a meme, bro. That can't be real.
That can't be real.
I'm not sure if it's in there, but that's what I heard or I read somewhere.
Everyone's got their kink.
Okay, but let's just fact check this real quick, because I didn't hear that this was from the actual, like an interrogation, like a legal proceeding in any kind of shape or form.
Yeah.
I just thought this was like a rumor that was going around. But you know what I will say?
It's definitely there. Jeffrey Epstein name dropped Stephen Hawking's photo show physicist on this sex traffickers island. So it's all this is 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like full list of high profile names in there. A-list dozen names in the documents. In the documents, all right? Not on the island, but somewhere in the documents, some names have been brought up. A lot of names.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you've watched, you've seen, you've enjoyed their art, or you've heard about them, you've loved them, like Michael Jackson, for example.
But I want to just say something real quick. Like, first of all, this list of people, you have to understand that, like, this guy, Epstein, as horrible as he is, he obviously does business dealings as well. Yeah. And so he gets people to come to his island or whatever, like, because there was like names like Cameron Diaz and stuff. And look, once again, if they've done wrong things, they should be prosecuted, obviously. But a lot of the times these people will just have business dealings and be in rooms and meetings with one another, and then all of a sudden they have an association. That doesn't mean that they've done anything
exactly right.
wrong.
Some of those names have done wrong.
But some of the names has done wrong. But here's the thing. It still comes down in the court documents. It doesn't mean they're guilty or not. It just comes down to someone's account of what they claim to have seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's the reality of the situation. And people are taking it and they're making it something else.
Yeah.
Now, there's some facts here saying, like from AP.news.com, saying no such reports are included in the documents about Stephen Hawking's.
Really?
So the claim is that the claim is that the theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking's prolectivities, I don't know what that means, but actions, I guess, and accusations about sexual encounter with late night host Jimmy Kimmel. Remember, like Jimmy Kimmel came out as well when he was fighting stuff. So a lot of the stuff, you don't know what you're getting, right? You're either getting a load of bullshit or getting truth.
Absolutely.
That's the problem with freedom of speech. People can post and say whatever the hell they want.
Exactly.
And if it goes viral, then all of a sudden people take it with merit.
That's the nature of the internet. Fake news is everywhere. And like, at the end of the day, it's, the legal system's job to be able to infiltrate through all of the bullshit and hopefully and ultimately get to the truth at the end of the day. But you know what kind of freaked me out? I watched a episode from Chris Williamson. He does a podcast as well, and Eric Weinstein. Did I say the last name right?
Probably.
Yeah, but anyway, Eric Weinstein was on there, and he was discussing his interaction with Epstein, and that like literally the hairs on his back like felt like they were standing. Like it was just meeting such an immoral man, and you know that he's just a terrible person.
Straight evil.
Yeah.
It's like meeting Hitler. Well, you just know that their intentions are very bad.
Very bad. And the interaction as well was apparently just absurd. Like so absurd. Like they met and it was like, it was meant, basically the meeting, what it sounded like was that Epstein was trying to scare him in some shape or form, right?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, all I was going to say was like, one, like that would be terrifying. But two, Eric has his theory. He claims that he thinks that Epstein is just a pawn in someone else's
bigger game.
Well, we all know that sex trafficking, it's public knowledge now that it exists.
And it's extremely
it's disgusting.
It's around more than you think.
Yeah,
it's
big
so
time.
sad.
What is it? How many children get kidnapped every single year?
Yeah, and human trafficked. I mean, it's wild. The main point we want to get across here is everything we're talking about. This is all alleged stuff, all right? Just want to clear that up.
Yeah.
It's all allegedly stuff. But there's been some new revelations that's come out, which we thought, we have to have a conversation about this.
Right.
Do you have the facts real quick about that? How many children are kidnapped per year?
So the International Labour Organization estimates that in 2022, 3.3 million children are being exploited and sex trafficked at any given moment.
Like,
at any given moment?
3.3 million.
Sickening. Disgusting.
What is wrong with people?
That's the population of a small country.
Yeah.
There's some anyway. That's just disgusting. At any given moment, meaning like every second.
Right now, there is an estimate. Well, this is in 2022. We don't know if it's gone higher or lower. But in 2022, at any given moment, 3.3 million children are being exploited or sex trafficked.
I hope every single person who's in this industry, business is doing shit like that they get caught, they go to jail, they get prosecuted. There should be no tolerance for that. It's so messed
obviously, but we live in an evil world, a very, very evil world, and we know it. As you get older, like you guys can reminisce on being a kid, being younger, and how blissed the world was because everyone was ignorant. When you're younger, you don't know things.
Of course.
As you get older, you think, where does this anxiety come from? Where does this sadness come from? Where does depression come from? It comes from the fact that you know you live in a fucking evil world. That's the truth.
Well, it's a world full of greed. It's a world full of power and control. That's what it's a world full of. And this is why it's so important. And my dad always said this to me: is you just take from life what's rightfully yours and you move with that.
Yeah.
Because you can't change all this stuff. It's going to happen no matter what. No matter what you do, if one person gets taken out, there's another person taking the top spot.
You got to remember, it's been happening for 5,000 years, for history.
But let's just move to the revelations here, because this is why we're talking about this. This is why we thought, you know what, we have to bring this up, because I have a theory,
Okay.
a possible theory. Two things have happened. Firstly, new court documents allege that Jeffrey Epstein took sex tapes of Prince Andrew, who's part of the royal family in the UK, and Bill Clinton.
I did read about that.
Sex tapes.
That's footage of them doing the deed.
Now, Sarah Ransom is the one who says she was a victim of Epstein, wrote about the claims that the Duke of York and the ex-US president and billionaire businessman were filmed by Jeffrey Epstein. Which is just like the footage exists.
Yeah, well,
it's there. Well, I don't want to see it, of course. No one wants to see it. That's disgusting.
Yeah, but isn't that what people said about Epstein? Like, one, he did horrible things himself, and two, he would take people to these parties or whatever on the island, right? But ultimately what he was doing was he was filming all these powerful people doing terrible things, and that gave him the upper hand because
that's why he was able to blackmail
because
people.
What they said was, like, at the end of the day, celebrities can go ahead and do, they can go ahead and have sex and do all these things, but what they can't get is silence. And what Epstein had was getting people silence because he had
the
power and the blackmail, like the videos and the footage against them. So that was apparently the game that he played. Yeah.
It's very, very conspiracy, but it's hard to now deny this stuff when, it starts going through courts and we start to see what's going on and all documents are being unsealed. The second thing that's come out was a news reporter in America, a blonde lady, said something along the lines of, there'll be more to hear. And she said, I can't tell you how or when, but sometime this year there'll be more to hear, and possibly from Jeffrey Epstein himself.
What?
But Jeff's dead.
Jeff is gone.
Is he? This is the question now.
Wait, hold on. Is this
an
a
actual
theory you were talking?
No. But this is a genuine news anchor.
So this actually happened.
This is a news anchor.
She's come out and said
you may have seen it across all other podcasts being talked about. It's all over your TikTok. It's all over your socials. There's this lady. She's wearing a red dress, a red blazer, whatever, and she said that possibly hearing from Jeffrey Epstein this year.
And who is this lady?
She's a news anchor. I don't know the exact name. I can go and find it.
So what information? Like, how does she have this intel of Jeffrey
Well, that's
Epstein?
what I'm saying, right? How does she know?
Who are you?
Is she just trying to get clicks? I don't know.
Well, some people just say some outlandish shit for clickbait.
Then you see Tucker Carlson do an interview with apparently Jeffrey Epstein's brother.
Okay.
And the brother was reporting that the whole thing about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in prison, there was so much shady and against protocol things that happened. One of those things being, and you can go check out Tucker Carlson, you see the footage, that he was dressed in a gown prior to being taken away by the what's it called? Whatever the ambos put you in, the beds, the travel beds, whatever.
Yeah.
He was in a gown. Now, why would they put him into a gown and then take him out?
What do you mean by a gown?
Like a hospital
gown sort
right?
of thing. That's what he was saying, something along those lines. Now, not to mention the security was sleeping. the cameras were turned off. He was locked in a room with no apparatus that could have helped him do what he did.
Because
assisted him.
They say he killed himself, right?
Yeah. And all these things, all these inconsistencies around the story. She's saying we might be hearing from Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And there's some theories out there.
Okay.
One of those theories that came to my mind was that he's not dead and that it's part of a bigger plan. And the bigger plan could be that Jeffrey Epstein is actually working with the good guys, whatever they are, whatever intelligence agency, whatever it is,
To lock up everyone else.
to lock up all the yuck people in the world that have been engaging in this activity. At least in the top tier fame or whatever you want to call it.
In the weirdest way possible, that could be the best case scenario.
But
Because he knows everything
And has everything.
so maybe he's made some sort of plea deal with the feds or whoever, right?
Could be.
And they basically have given him like a shorter life sentence or something in order to give up names.
How
Could
can
have been.
you make a deal with?
Well, you can make a plea.
Make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, literally a deal with the devil.
Well, it'll be a
I know
deal
you,
with
I
the
know you can make a
authorities.
plea, but it's like, brother, he's the first domino. He's the reason why all of this happened.
But hold on, hasn't anyone seen his body? And
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they've seen. I think the brother said something along the lines about that too. They haven't seen him. Haven't seen the body.
That's weird.
that is really
Can I
odd.
just, on a side note too, I just don't trust Jeffries.
We've gone through this.
You
can't?
no,
Just because of Epstein, you can't see. You
No,
don't trust
no.
any other Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Who
Yeah.
else is
Oh
there,
my
Ken?
god.
There's a bad Jeff. I'm going to search up bad Jeffs
Bad
in history.
Jeffs in history. You just don't trust a Jeff. Never
Or-
trust a
a
Jeff.
I
lot
know a Jeff, and that Jeff's a great guy.
Look at Jeff from the Wiggles.
What's wrong with Jeff from the
He doesn't
Wiggles?
even do his job. He sleeps all day.
Okay, but that's literally his
That's
character.
so true.
It doesn't matter. It's not his character. It's Jeff.
No, but Jeff.
Imagine we had a job to do, Avneesha, and every day I'm going,
ridiculous.
and you're like, wake up, Yaz.
Not as catchy
Not a
as
good
Wake
person.
Up, Jeff.
Yeah, I know, Jeff's right.
Listen,
We've done a full list of Jeffs in Jeff Bezos, billionaire. People don't trust him.
well,
It's hard
And
to
to be
trust
honest,
a bold billionaire.
and he's Stockton. There's just something about him that I just don't know.
okay, you know what?
There's been plenty of Jeffs. Go do the search.
I just don't trust Jeff.
There's a lot of Jeffs out there that it just doesn't,
Okay, I'm looking up because
doesn't feel right.
if you look for a list of Jeffs that have done terrible things in the world, you're going to find it. But I'm sure that there are many Jeffs that have done good things
Oh.
in the world.
What about Jeffrey?
What about Jeff Buckley?
What about Jeffrey from Game of Thrones? Everyone hated him. His character, the worst person.
His name was Geoff, wasn't it?
No, it's Joffrey.
Oh,
It's Joffrey.
Yeah, but that's how you said Jeffrey back in the day.
yeah, that's right.
Back in the Game of Thrones days.
Potatoes, potatoes, apparently.
yeah.
Close enough.
Well, look, that was the theory that's come up, and I'm like, that's it. It would be interesting if that's the case. Like, imagine at the end, imagine throughout this year,
Yeah.
Epstein's like back alive in the case, and like everyone that was
But-
involved has been taken down. And
Yeah.
not that he will become a hero. No, of course not. But that he would be the one that is the centerpiece of bringing
But
down
let me
the
explain
entire
to you,
thing.
if that theory is correct, which, you know what, in this world that we live in, there's a possibility of it, we will never know.
Well, he could be a double agent, Yaz.
No,
For 20
but
years,
they
a
will
double
never make
agent.
it. They will never make a public knowledge that he was alive and he worked with them. He'll work with them in silence. He'll disappear in silence.
It would be a movie. It would be a movie later on.
Eventually, yeah.
It'd be a movie in 20 years.
Yeah.
And it'd be like the greatest double agent of all time.
Like as if Jeff Epstein, he'll get killed.
Yeah.
He'll get killed if he ever comes back into the public. He'll
Yeah,
get killed.
100%. Also, look, I will say one thing. I really do hope, though, if that's the theory, that every single bastard gets taken down in
Obviously.
association to this.
I mean, look, you
you
got to
know?
look at the victims in this, all right? Of
course.
these are the people that are suffering the most. They have
Yeah,
to
of course.
relive this again and again and again in court, and then with their families, and it's just consistent. And by them even revealing their names is also a real troubling thing for them too. So,
Yeah, of course.
you know, it's the victims that are affected the most, of course, obviously. And if you've committed a crime, you need to do the time, and whether that be life. Whatever it is, it needs to be a fair sentence, of course, because
Yeah.
you've ruined other people's lives.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. I agree.
But yes.
Just real quick before we end this, do you guys think for really terrible crimes like death is a good punishment?
Oh.
I had to ask the question. I'm sorry because I think that's the easy way out. I think if you've done some nasty shit here on earth, and I'm talking about like the worst of the worst, you need to be chucked in a cube with no windows or doors. You get fed minimal, and you suffer for the rest of your life until you disintegrate into nothingness.
I think
That's what you
I think
deserve.
I think the only fair thing is the whole eye for an eye concept, right?
Oh, that would be great punishment.
Yeah, tit for
Whatever
tat.
you do, you get. That is when karma completes itself.
Yeah.
I think the death penalty is such an easy way out.
Yeah.
So easy.
Well, I do agree. In certain circumstances, some people should really, really get the hard yards for what they've done.
But then it's also part of what we do, which is forgiveness, which is the hardest thing to do in the world. But how can you forgive someone like
There's certain
these people are doing?
whether you like it or not, there's unforgivable acts. There's definitely
Yeah, of course. It's
unforgivable acts.
what it's called is crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an unforgivable act. Whatever falls under that, that's an unforgivable act. And then therefore, eye for an eye in that situation.
I don't disagree with you, Ken.
I think that's how it should be handled.
This is tricky.
But moving from that craziness into something that
It's
something
also
that
crazy.
is shocked. It's pretty shocking what has been going on with the fat loss world.
Yeah, okay. So you would have heard of Ozempic, right?
Yeah.
Now, some context. There's a lot of people, especially on social media, who have been talking about Ozempic and the weight loss that it has provided them. Now, I want to give you some context on Ozempic and what it is, right? So Ozempic is a medicine for adults with type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And basically it's to help them improve their blood sugar alongside doing, diet and exercise and all that stuff. It is not approved for weight loss. Ozempic is not approved for weight loss. It's not supposed to be taken for weight loss. But what has happened is
Is it an injection?
it's an injection that you take. I believe Ozempic is once a month from my understanding.
You do it yourself or you go to like a
You can do it
doctor
yourself.
or a GP? You can do it yourself.
I believe so. You can do it yourself. But I might be getting confused, but I'm pretty sure you can because you see people now who take Ozempic for weight loss. Now, it contains this component called semaglutide, I believe it is. And that component is where the weight loss happens. And that is approved under the name Wegovy by the FDA. So there
for weight loss.
For weight loss.
Specifically for weight
Okay, so there's part of the overall drug that's approved, not the entire drug. Is
Yeah,
approved
exactly.
For weight loss.
And there's a higher dosage of semaglutide in Wegovy that people can take, but it's more expensive
Yeah.
than Ozempic. So what has happened is people are now getting Ozempic, and to be honest, healthcare professionals have prescribed Ozempic off-label, and people without diabetes have been taking it. And then, of course, people are finding their own means to get it.
Is this the drug that like the Kardashians were taking and like
Yeah.
a lot of famous people were taking at one point?
Allegedly, right? People have been taking it. But one of the big telltale signs of Ozempic or Wegovy is like this face where you lose like this daunting kind of face because you lose so much weight from your face as well. It looks kind of scary. And so apparently that's like the telltale sign. But what has happened now is that the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, have now approved Wegovy, not Ozempic, because that's still not approved for weight loss, Wegovy for people 12 years and older.
Okay, that's
so
wild.
For teenagers.
So
right?
what are they trying to approve it for?
For weight loss,
For
too.
weight
obesity, I'd
loss.
assume.
So adolescent obesity.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, is it? Why
Yeah,
would
but
that be a
like,
bad
but
thing?
You're taking regular drugs, like, just like I don't know. I've never. I fortunately for me, I was not an obese kid, and I don't know the difficulties of being an obese kid. Besides, obviously, the obvious bullying and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, is it like I don't even understand obesity in a kid. Like, is it because their diet's not right? Is
Most
it because
likely.
is it
That's
because they're
90%
not
of
being
all.
they're not being put into places where they can exercise and
Look.
take care of themselves? Like, I don't know what the go is there, but if you're just gonna then slap a drug into your kid once a month, however many times you
Well,
got to take
it's once a week.
once a week,
Injection.
you inject your kids so they can not be
Yeah,
obese.
but we don't know. But we don't know the benefits and the consequences of doing it.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Now, obviously there are studies out there that have all these positive results, but let's just take it down to the basic, right?
Yeah.
You're a 13-year-old who obviously has an emotional eating, issue, and it could be medical as well. So
Yeah,
don't
of
get me
course.
wrong. There's various ways why you could be overweight and obese, but the problem that I find with it is, one, you're taking this drug once a week, that's an injection, and you've heard people have come out, for example, a TikTok creator that goes by Remy Bader, and she said that, now this was specifically to Ozempic, that's what she was taking, but, Wegovy has the same
exact components.
Well, has one of the same components that is
Okay.
weight loss. And she gained double the weight back when she went off it because she realized also that taking Ozempic or Wegovy, it's a long-term thing.
Oh, so it's constant.
Yeah,
Possibly-
you
You
have
keep
to
doing it.
consistently do it weekly.
Possibly for life. And because it slows digestion, it reduces appetite. That's why you don't go for seconds or you don't want to eat more. Then when you're off it, all of a sudden, all of that comes back. So my problem with it is if you're not setting their foundation right, like if someone's emotionally eating, there's a psychological thing there that they could get assistance with or help with. Or if it's a medical thing, there are definitely avenues that you can take. But ultimately, it goes back to having a strong foundation of understanding, okay, I need to ensure that I'm doing exercise or I'm eating a certain way and I can't be associating like this type of eating with food. Like there's certain things that you have to get right before you go and try alternate avenues.
Well, it comes down to education, right? Like what are you teaching? What are we teaching them as adults, role models that we are to the younger generation? What are we teaching them about self-care on the mental level, physical level, spiritual level? What are we teaching them? And if we're not even doing that in our schools, there's a syllabus, but I don't know. I've never looked at the syllabus since I left, but there was nothing. They were talking about what foods are healthy and all that stuff, but it comes down to what's in your household and how do you have a healthy lifestyle? Because I guarantee, and this is what everyone always says. There's always a fat loss drug that anyone can take, but as soon as you stop, the faster you lose the weight, the faster you put it back on.
Well, there's always a catch.
So
right?
there's got to be a gradual, slow lifestyle change rather than a quick fix.
Yeah, because what I say is like at the end of the day, and this is where I keep talking about saying the same thing like a broken record is you have to get the foundation right. If you've tried everything and you've got your foundation right and still things are not working, I understand.
And you have doctor's advice.
And you have of course, you have a professional's advice. I understand that you are desperate now and you're trying to find other means. Okay. But if you haven't done all the things you're supposed to do and you go straight for instant gratification, that is going to be the downfall of your life, ultimately.
Do you know how many side effects there is to this Wegovy?
Go on.
Well,
I've got there's a lot, but I've got 6 like really important ones that you need to know. Have you seen them?
I've seen some like nausea, vomiting.
Yeah, see, they're the normal ones, but there's really bad ones. So there's stomach problems that could actually last a lifetime.
Like ulcers and all that stuff.
Yeah. There's low blood sugar, which is obviously because it's made for type 2 diabetes. Allergic reactions that happens in everything, but this is where it gets crazy. A high risk of thyroid tumors and thyroid cancer.
Yeah, and see that's where a lot of
Why would you even do that? Like, why would you even risk that?
That's terrifying. And that's what I mean. It's like, right, you're an adult, you're making a decision, but if a 12-year-old is taking this, like they're literally getting prescribed this, and let's just say they're a healthy child, and if let's just provide this as a context. They're a healthy child, they've obviously eaten a lot, like they have a bad relationship with food and they're obese and now they want to lose weight because they're getting bullied. I don't think that going, hey, take this drug, this will solve all your problems is or should ever be the advice given by a medical professional or a parent or anyone around. Like I've heard people talk about this saying that I'm on it, my child, my teenager's on it, like 14, 15, and they've seen a vast improvement. Well, obviously if you're losing weight at that rate, you're going to see a vast improvement. But in saying that, it has such a domino effect that it's such a short-term like viewing of something, but long-term, this is going to be their go-to for everything. Well, now I feel upset about my nose. I'm going to go do this to it. Oh, there's a surgery for this. There's an injection for this.
Look. It's the same as every drug. It's the same as like for example, smoking. You didn't know what it was doing, but it relieved you for instant gratification. It gave you. They didn't know what the cigarettes was doing to you, and then they found out 20 years later it causes this. Same now happening with vaping. They didn't know what it was going to do to you. All they know that it was a substitute for cigarettes.
They still don't know.
And then there's new research now coming out, and it's pretty much what I've heard. It's worse.
It is worse.
It's worse.
And the funny thing is, we're actually not going to know about vaping until 20 years from now.
Exactly.
When someone who started vaping 20 years ago is getting this new disease that no one's ever heard of before.
That's right. And then this is this same type of concept. Look, at the end of the day, I know Nishi, the long-term stuff, but we can't speak on behalf of someone that's going through this. If that's something that makes them happy and they're willing, they've done their research, they've studied, they've spoken to their doctor, and they're happy to run the risk of it, that's your life. You make that decision and you go on and do it.
I don't know if I can.
You can't tell people to take it, not to take it. But all you can do is reminding everyone to do your research, to see your professional doctor, whatever it is, and know the risks that you're taking when you're consuming whatever drug it is, and it comes down to food as well.
No, it's not just that. You got to realize, Nish, that there's people, and I understand where Kian's coming from, because there's people out there who, let's say they're 13, 14, they're very obese, and they're on the brink of death, and this is the only way. They literally can't go to the gym, they can't stop it, whatever it is. This is the only way to actually save their life. Does it come with a couple consequences? Sure, it does, but in the long term,
you're looking at one extreme, right? Like
that's probably who it's for. It's probably for those extremes.
Yeah, but you see everyone now, like, if
it's a fad, is it a fad?
Yeah, a fad, a
but
craze.
that's when it becomes ridiculous.
And that's when it's up to the doctors. I'm sorry. That's when the doctors have to turn around and say, no, I'm not putting you on this.
Yeah, they should be coming out and saying that.
It's the doctor's fault.
Yeah, but I know that there's doctors out there, and look, maybe I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but like there's doctors out there that you go to see them, they don't even take a look at you and they go, yeah, just go on to antibiotics.
That's why I hate general practitioners.
Well, my point is that at the end of the day, and I'll just sum it up with this, is that, as I said, you need to like do your own research on things. You need to make sure that you are following, like, I guess what your body's naturally supposed to do. And if there is no means, and I get it, if there is an extreme measure that you need to take, then you should be falling to these alternatives, but it shouldn't be like a go-to thing, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do because everyone else is doing it, or this is the easy path. Like, that's the reality. People do things because it's just easier to do.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. People want shortcuts. So the world this day is all about shortcuts and how to get there quicker. It's a true thing. Look, just as I mentioned, I know that we've covered a lot of topics that have to do with mental health and have to do with suicide and stuff. So I thought I just want to mention, if you are in Australia, 13 11 14 is the lifeline number. But please seek help. And please make sure you reach out, talk to someone about any issues that you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Because it is very sensitive topics that we've covered so far.
Yeah.
Some heaviness comes alongside of that.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, Yaz, you've been wanting to say something on the show. You've been wanting to tell us something personal of you.
Yeah.
And we wanted to know, what was it about prior to coming? You said, no, you have to do it.
I have to
It has to be live in the podcast.
Can't pre-plan it. It's really important.
Oh,
we can't even know.
We're going to get a bit lighthearted here, so that's right. It will start off lighthearted, then it might get intense. Just things that I find really overrated. Extremely overrated in life.
Okay.
Birthdays.
Oh my gosh.
Birthdays are so freaking overrated, aren't they?
No, they're not.
What do you mean?
You celebrate the day of birth. That's fun. What are you, the Grinch of birthdays? That's exciting.
I just
for
don't
people.
like them.
Yeah, I can attest that he doesn't like it. I threw Yaz a party and he told me, don't tell anyone it's my birthday. So I had to secretly whisper in everyone's
I hate my
ear.
birthday. I hate it with a passion.
Yeah, but maybe that's because you don't like to be the center of attention.
Bullshit. We're talking about Yaz here. He loves the.
I used
not
to
that
be.
you love the attention,
I
but you
used to be.
you always get the attention because you're someone that people want to look at.
Yeah, that's true. So
They're very interested.
And I noticed something too, because like, when your birthday comes, you get a whole bunch of messages and you get a whole bunch of like DMs and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's not bullshit, but
It is, because you know what I did? I deleted my birthday on Facebook. Right?
Right.
Last year, I checked. I woke up to like 20 something messages.
Oh, that's nice.
Actual texts.
Yeah.
Today I woke up with 0.
Today,
Yeah.
it's not.
Is it your birthday today?
Yeah.
Is it today?
Yeah.
Get
No, you're
effed.
lying.
Is it actually your birthday?
See? Overrated. No one actually gives a fuck. Nobody cares.
No, are you serious? 'Cause I wrote it in my diary, but I haven't checked my diary today, so I actually don't know if it's true. Is it 9th of January?
It's the
It is the 9th of January.
Oh my God, yes! Oh my God.
You're joking. I'm not gonna say it.
Why?
I'm not gonna say happy birthday to
Why
you.
not?
Because you think it's overrated.
Oh, I feel so bad.
I find it overrated because no one cares.
Oh my God! Happy birthday,
Oh, no.
brother! It's actually your birthday?
Nah, it's not my birthday. It's not my birthday today.
It is.
It is my birthday today.
9th of Jan. I forgot about it. Holy shit!
Oh God, I've celebrated both your birthdays on the day.
I threw you a whole party last year. That's right, because last year we did the teppanyaki. Yeah. And it was around the holiday time.
No, but with all seriousness, I did want to call you guys out on it because I knew you'd forget because you're not really friends.
Oh
you're just colleagues.
my
But
Gosh.
no, seriously. So what I did is I hid my birthday from Facebook just to see what happens. 2 messages today. That's it.
Yeah,
No
but
one
like,
else.
Your family and
okay, you know
everyone.
what happens, all right? I'll tell you what happens, Yaz.
Yeah.
All right? I know we're all looking for our phones, but I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah.
When you have your birthday, you think the world revolves around you on that one day.
It should.
And when it should.
I don't. I
But you
don't.
think your world does revolve around you on that one day. But if no one hits you up on that day because you think it's your important day, that's obviously when you feel sad about it, right? Because you think that the world revolves around you for that one day, but it doesn't.
I legitimately
And
don't.
that's why that's
yeah.
the reality. It doesn't. It's just a day for you to know that, hey, I'm
hey,
one more year older.
31 years ago.
Hold on.
Congratulations, Yazzie.
Yeah, I made it into the 30s, like inside of them. 31.
That was a weird way to
Welcome,
Yuck.
welcome to the 31
That is
club.
what am I
What?
doing with my life? What have I done?
You've committed to this podcast with your 2 colleagues.
Two-
I feel
two-
so bad.
Yeah, you should.
Why?
You should. No, she should
Because
feel
I
bad.
feel like deep down he's actually heard about it. And this is what's happened, right? He's come out and says he doesn't care about birthdays, but deep down he realized he's gone this far to come and call us out on the podcast. He's thought about it in a content kind of way.
Yeah.
And now he's said it saying like, I don't care. But deep down he does care, which means deep down
I saw
he
him
does
tear up.
care
And
about birthdays.
I just want to say,
No, I
just wanna
teared up. Listen, if I teared up, I was teared up because it was funny. No, I actually don't give a shit. And the reason why I did it today,
Yeah.
like on the podcast thing, is because before when we were planning, you guys, do you have any personals? And I was like, do I have any personal stories today?
Oh, it's just my
Yes, I do.
fucking birthday.
It's my birthday, and you guys haven't said happy birthday or got me any presents. So, call out on the show.
Well, I'm going to shout you some food today.
I don't want food
We're going to
from
go for lunch.
Don't want lunch. I'm going to go celebrate it with my real friends,
He's 2 real friends.
family members.
Mom and dad.
So how do you feel?
They haven't even wished me happy birthday.
They
yet.
haven't?
Mum and
They-
dad haven't.
Have they worked? Do
I
they
know my
check?
phone is.
Do they? Because they usually check your Facebook. Is that why?
My brother-in-law
Yeah.
wished me happy birthday. My best mate from high school wished me happy birthday, and his birthday was 2 days ago, and I forgot, so that wasn't good. And that's it. No one else.
How many birthdays do you forget?
Oh, actually, no, 3. A girl that I was seeing, which was really nice of her to message.
That's really
Cute,
sweet.
yeah.
That's
So
really
tell us, how many birthdays do you usually miss the people around you?
So
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
No. Like I forget birthdays, like
Yeah.
family members, brothers, sisters, mum, dad. I'll forget.
How do you?
Doesn't
So how
matter.
do you
That's
feel? You're
terrible.
31 years old now. How do you? How are you feeling?
Any wise words? You've obviously, you've been 30 for a year. So anything about being in your 30s that you want to share?
If you're 20, time flies.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
No, I'm being serious. Oh, you're still young. Have fun. No, dude, fucking get your life together. Because if you don't, you're going to be
It comes up
31.
quick.
You're going to be 31 and fucking stressing.
Yeah.
I'm stressing.
What are you stressing about?
What are you
I
stressing
know
about?
I'm not stressing, but I'm just like, I look around and I'm like, oh, Ken, how old are you?
31.
Married with children. Avneesha, how old are you?
30.
Married with a dog. Yaz,
And a
31.
husband.
I'm still walking around fucking nightclubs going, do you have drink cards? Can I get a vodka Red Bull? Like, that's my fucking life. You don't want it.
No, but everyone matures differently as at a different time.
I just want to have a baby. I want a baby. But first I have to find a partner.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't hold a relationship for the life of me.
It's all right.
It's crazy. Is it me? Am I
just
the
think-
common
I'm
denominator?
having an existential crisis.
This
over
is the
here.
worst birthday on earth. Anyways, no sushi, but you guys didn't get me any presents?
There's something in my car.
Okay.
What could it be?
Should I tell him now?
No, keep it as a surprise.
I remember when you thought we forgot your birthday?
I know. That was a really great
And then we
birthday.
surprised you with a birthday cake. And
I felt really special. I feel really bad that
you guys haven't. No
Honestly,
surprise?
I blame Avneesha here. Avneesha's the real like calendar girl, like calendar
Yes, that is
person.
true.
So
That
so
is
to
true.
be honest, it should be it's your fault.
All right. You know what? I will take the blame. I am a calendar gal. I literally have a diary with all your birthdays in it, and I just didn't check my diary, and I'm very
Do
upset.
you know how good I am with dates, by the way? Like ridiculous.
Did you just say you forget everyone's birthdays?
On purpose, because I hate birthdays. On the birthday cruise. No, seriously. Wedding anniversary, November 26th.
No.
Was I close? Was I close? What's November 26th?
Oh, you're thinking of my birthday.
Oh, what's
which
your
is
birthday?
also not that.
What's your birthday?
November.
You got married in January.
Yes.
You got married in January?
Yes.
28.
No.
No. It's earlier. Obviously, because it's like 2 days.
I had two weddings, a Punjabi ceremony and a Catholic wedding in January. That was January the 11th, so you were way off.
Yeah.
Did you get double the amount of presents? Or one present?
Did you come in on an elephant?
No, I didn't
Punjabi
come
wedding.
back on it.
Prince Ali, yes it is he, Ali Ababa.
But November 23rd is my birthday. I think that's what you were.
That's
That's
what
what
it
you
is.
were.
All right,
thinking.
well, we obviously got to sing happy birthday to you.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
No, please don't. Please don't. Stop.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. He's walked out of you.
Yeah, okay, son.
Happy birthday, dear
He's literally out of the
Yazan.
studio.
Happy birthday
To you.
you.
Oh, that's so loud. Okay, you can come back in. All right,
Yeah,
ready?
it's done.
Hip hip.
Hooray! Okay, well, there you go. Good on you then. Welcome to the 31 Club, Yaz.
Yeah.
Let's do a motivational quote.
Yeah, you know what? This motivational quote was based on the fact that we've obviously launched a podcast. It's very exciting, but also Yaz is officially in his 30s apparently. So this motivational quote might help you too. It's from none other than Steve Jobs. This is what he said. Your work.
He said nothing. He's dead.
Oh, that's horrible.
Sorry.
He said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to do what you love to do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. So Yaz,
Just
do
to
you
add,
think...
just to add Yaz in, I think doesn't matter if you're 31 years old.
Yes.
That should be at the end of that quote.
Exactly. Because as with all matters of the heart, you know when you find it. So Yaz, do you think now joining this podcast, does your heart say you found what your purpose was?
Nah, definitely not. If I was to leave, just curious. I'm actually just very curious. We'll just continue. If I just chose to
Don't do this question on your
just-
birthday.
And on the
We don't-
second podcast, bro.
I don't know. Maybe if you wished me happy birthday the second I walked in, I'd want to stay. But
Well, we always have next year.
You know what? I think it's your fault now that I
Or
think
do
about
we?
it.
Or do
I
we,
think
Nisha?
about it. I think it.
what if this was, touch wood, the last time you guys could have ever wished me
Why
a
are
happy
you so
birthday?
morbid?
We'll wish you a happy half birthday in 6 months from now.
I'll accept it.
Okay. You'll have a cake and a present there too, okay?
All right. See you later, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Already cancelled.
If you like the podcast, prove it. Like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a cheeky review.